we don't just want to make the finals, we want to win the finals. We want to win it. At the end of the day, we want to win it.
Where James Fisher-Harris sits as the greatest prop in Warriors history. Ooh. Hey, don't forget you've played some of your best footy as a hooker as well.
Name another hooker out there, even in the NRL, that's 6'2".
I would call Red all the time as a prop playing alongside my brother. And what I loved when he was hooker, anytime I wanted the ball, I got it.
Why did you not choose Lecker?
Yeah. Well, Lecker just strikes me. How old is Lecker? He just strikes me as this little kid. Nothing to do with talent. I just see him as this little kid. Probably goes to training with a lollipop in his mouth, and is just naturally gifted at flipping everything. Welcome everyone back to the podcast Raised by the Same Ref. I'm Tiawa, and I'm here with your boy Tanks. If you enjoyed our content, subscribe, like, and comment, and turn on the notifications. If you agree with what we say, chuck a comment in. If you disagree, we equally like that, and we'll try our best to reply to all the comments.
Yep.
If it's Warriors news, we're talking about it. We're going to go straight into our first topic and point, which is the top comment for the day, or from the last episode, which was sent to us from Wellington. I'm going to go ahead and read it, and I thought it'll start off our podcast today really well and give a good discussion point. I think many of you, by looking at the comments on the different Wires pages, are thinking very similar thoughts to this person from Wellington.
Yep.
And it reads, here's a talking point for you. Chanel and Te Maire are doing a stand-up job in the halves, but the game on the weekend exposed a weakness that no one wants to admit. In the back end of a tight game, our halves cannot take control of a game and organise tired forwards to run shapes. That will put us in a position to win games against the best teams. I feel Chanel and Te Maire can get us to the final, but with no Tanner, we need Luke Metcalf at the helm. If I'm coach, I'm investing in the best chance to finish the comp and putting Luke Metcalf in now. Te Maire stays because he offers consistency and X factor.
Yep.
Chanel moves to the bench as utility, and we might drop a few games to find our feet with this change, but it's a change we need if we intend to go all the way. Chanel and Te Maire are tough players and look sharp when everyone else is doing their job and playing well. But we got tested on the weekend, and the boys needed some direction to stick to structure, but that voice was absent in the halves. Luke Metcalf offers us that. Without that voice, when we need it, we're as good as second place.
Very interesting. Very
Top comment.
Yeah.
Top comment in my opinion. I've been saying this for a little while, since at least episode 1. Yep. I'm on the Luke Metcalf bandwagon specifically for that reason. I believe he has what it takes to close out some tight games, as we saw at the beginning of 2025. Yeah.
When I'm looking at this, there's a few points that really stick out to me here. Really stick out. I liked it how he said Te Maire and Chanel can get us to a final, but if we want to win the final with no Tanner, we need Luke Metcalf at the helm. And I've got to somewhat agree with that. We talked about it in the first episode, talked a little bit about it in the second episode, but obviously this comment has opened it up more and allowed us to see it in a different way. And I also liked how he said we might drop a few games to find our feet with this change, but it's a change we need if we intend to go all the way. What he's pretty much saying here is we don't just want to make the finals, we want to win the finals. We want to win it. At the end of the day, we want to win it, and we believe that we've got the team to go all the way and win it. And it's a very key point. Like, for me, naturally, I would rather lose a couple of games if that gives us the best chance of seeing what works. Because he is right. If we did have a leader, a half that owns those moments, which we know someone like Cleary does, we win those games. We win those games. It's as simple as that. So very, very good point that he makes here.
I think highlighting a point in there, we look at the game just gone. Te Maire and Chanel did admirably against the Panthers, and they got us to the last 2 minutes of the game.
Yes.
Couldn't seal it.
Yep.
Plenty of opportunities, obviously missed opportunities, but we couldn't seal it.
Yep.
I don't know if you were like me, but near the back end of the game, did you even consider a 2-point field goal to draw it up? Did that cross your mind? Because it
When
didn't mind. It didn't mind because we have no one.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't have a Reece Walsh sitting at fullback. Tuopuki can't kick.
Latrell.
We don't have a Latrell sitting in centre.
Yep.
We don't have any Sako sitting on the wing.
Yep.
So we really lack that X factor right at that last dying moments when it's the two best teams in the comp. 2 points separates it up into the last 2 minutes.
Yep.
And no one can kick a 40-metre drop goal.
Yep. Interesting.
What are your thoughts? Do you think Pompey, we know Addin Pompey can kick. Do you think there's any plays being lined up now to bring him in, setting up for a drop goal?
Well, has he ever taken a drop goal?
Well, yeah. I mean, he's just the only other person that we've seen kick.
Yeah. Well, just from my perspective, kicking is way different from drop kicking. It's two different, kicking's easy. Kicking is the easy part. It's to drop the ball at the right angle and push your leg with power to get it that 40 meters, let alone the accuracy, is flipping hard. I've never, ever in a game hit a field goal, ever. So it's different. And I feel drop goals it's a specialty thing. You have to be practicing it extras after training. I don't know. I think if we're going to head in the crunch, go into the into the finals and go deep into the finals, if we're winning games, the boys need to practice field goals. I don't care if we're winning by 20 points. Get down there, practice a field goal. Practice it. We need to see it because it's going to come down. We were exactly what you said. It was exactly the same, us and Panthers, and those moments is what Cleary can do to knock us out of the grand final. So,
yeah. If you agree with that comment that we just read out, chuck a comment in the comment section whether you agree or not, and we'll do our best to reply. Yeah. What do we do? June 30's coming up. Do we look at signing someone that can take those drop goals?
Yeah. Well,
do we do as this person suggested and get Metcalf in now? There's going to be a couple of losses as we saw early in the season when he came and played. But do we
sacrifice
2 or 3 wins for the long term success of the club?
Yeah, I think the one thing that I got to give Luke Metcalf over our other two halves is when he had his outstanding year, he wanted those moments. He went to those moments. He said, it was that one game where he kicked that 2-point goal, field goal, penalty, and
40-something meters,
and he slotted it, and there was no question behind him where he was just like, this game's on the line, bro. Tavita, you want to take it? You know what I mean? There was I didn't feel that. He was just like, bro, I don't care if I get it or I don't get it. It's exactly like the same mindset as Reece Walsh. He don't care. Bro, if you their strength is they will just do it. They will just do it in that moment, and that's the only downfall. Exactly what he's saying in this comment with Tamaiti, especially being at our 7. I don't know if one, he can't kick, and I think he had a drop goal with the Panthers, and I think he won Panthers' first game that he debuted, and he had a drop goal. Can you remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
And that's been his one and only drop goal he's ever kicked. So that's our 7 right there. So very, very good point. Someone needs to be practicing, or you buy someone, simple, or we bring Luke Metcalf in to ice those moments.
Hey, we'll move on to our next point, and we're going straight into Sharks versus Panthers preview. And the Sharks are playing some good form at the moment, and they're coming into some good form, especially with Mulitalo back.
Yep.
And they touched us up earlier in the season when Metcalf played that one game.
Yep.
And we need to be on our best game in order to beat the Sharks pack.
Yep, definitely 100% agree with you there. Looking at this photo here, we're going to be comparing a couple of key positions moving into this next segment. So obviously we've got Addin Fonua-Blake, James Fisher-Harris, both they're big boppers props. And we're going to dive into some stats. We've got some stats here. I'm going to go straight into set these two up against each other. So they both played 12 games for this year. Win rate, obviously the Warriors coming second place. I think the Sharks will be sitting around 16, 14 points. So they're not too far behind us, but have obviously had a couple of losses. Total minutes, very similar. 644 to Addin Fonua-Blake. Fisher-Harris, 643. So literally the same. Running meters, 1795 for Addin Fonua-Blake. Moving over to James Fisher-Harris, 1723. So we're talking a good 70 meters that Addin Fonua-Blake has over James Fisher-Harris. Going into post-contact meters, and this is a very key stat here, T. We've got Addin Fonua-Blake, 729 post-contact meters for the year of 2026, with James Fisher-Harris 670. So Addin Fonua-Blake tops him by a good 60 post-contact meters, which we know, obviously, Fonua-Blake came from the Warriors. He laid that platform for us, and his little jink as he gets to the line is a big reason why he has a very high stat in post-contact meters. Tackle breaks, again, Addin Fonua-Blake, 31 to 15 against James Fisher-Harris. Offloads, very similar, 9 to Fonua-Blake, 8 to Fisher-Harris. Tackles made is a slight difference here. Fonua-Blake at 329, James Fisher-Harris tops him by 50, 379, and missed tackles, very surprisingly, James Fisher-Harris 26 and Addin Fonua-Blake 9. The key talking point behind all of this, T, is we are beating them in the ladder. One, we are beating them in the ladder, and our team is technically better at this point of time in our season. Yet, the big bopper up front, the props, the stats don't show that, T. They don't show it. Addin Fonua-Blake beats Fisher-Harris in nearly everything besides tackles. So, very, very interesting. My own perspective is I feel Fonua-Blake is an individual player. He knows what he wants. He knows how to go get it. He is very talented. He's one of the best props in our game. Understand that. Is he a team player, though? I feel like Fisher-Harris knows how to bring the best out of everyone else to compensate for, I guess, Fonua-Blake being better than him naturally. He knows how to bring his other prop into the game, his bench players, his edge players, and that's just purely, I believe, off his presence. And I've heard a lot about James Fisher-Harris in Kiwis camp. He was partnered with Leo Thompson, and they just said that his game just went to another level. So very interesting stats, yet results show something totally different.
Yeah, it's State of Origin prop, New South Wales representative for Noah versus Kiwis captain James Fisher-Harris, and both former Kiwis teammates.
True.
As a prop myself, this excites me, this battle.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, I think James Fisher-Harris is going to get the dub this week. I just have a feeling he's up for this battle. He's just finished taking on Moses Leota, his Kiwis teammate, and lost, and he'll be rearing to go this one.
I got a question for you, T, before we move on. As a prop, exactly what we just talked about, Addin Fonua-Blake, totally different style. His stats show a different natural individual brilliance, yet Fisher-Harris is getting the wins as a team effort. If you got to pick one of these boys to play with you on a Saturday against, I don't know, the top team on the ladder, who would you rather be next to you lining up? Because you play prop, I'm guessing you play 8 or 10. Who's your partner out of these two? And why?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I'm probably leaning towards James Fisher-Harris, and the reason his D is better.
Yeah,
I often see Fonua going absent, and we saw that at the beginning of State of Origin, especially big matches. Fonua disappeared, and that was the intensity of Queensland. James doesn't disappear. He's He's so Mr. Consistent every week.
Yeah.
Plays his heart out. So for the D side, it's Fisher Harris. Fonua-Blake's a better attacker, but I'd take James.
Nice.
Hey, let's move straight into point number 2, a second good battle. It's Trindall versus Harris-Tavita.
Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one.
The 2 number 6s, and there's a difference in these 2 6s, and it's the fact that Trindall, although he's got the 6 on his shoulders or on his back, he's the dominant half.
Yep.
And plays more like the 7.
Yep.
So whereas Harris-Tavita's a support player, he was the support player to Tanner Boyd, and now to Te Maire Martin. So slightly different stats. But if we're going to have a little look at some of the stats there, obviously the win rate of Harris-Tavita is 70%.
Yep.
And actually, they're both decent defenders. However, we know Harris-Tavita prides himself in his D.
Yeah.
And if we look at that bottom stat for missed tackles, only 16 missed tackles all year for Harris-Tavita.
Wow.
29 for Trindall. So you can be guaranteed Halasima, if he's playing this week, Halasima's hitting Trindall all day.
Yep.
All day he'll be hitting Trindall. If we come down to try assists, another key stat, and you see it right there, try assists 15 for Trindall.
Wow.
He's the dominant half. Harris-Tavita 6. Just the more dominant half. And probably another stat there, especially with Tanner gone now. The kicking meters, Trindall is the dominant half once again. But now Harris-Tavita's going to have to kick a lot more, so he'll increase in that stat as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I in my opinion, Trindall's ahead of Harris-Tavita in this battle.
Yep.
Stats-wise, almost every stat hits Trindall better. He's a big game player too.
Yep. I like him.
In the dying moments, he's got a similar mentality to Cody Walker, and he wants that ball. Give it to me now. If I have to score it, I'm going. Yep. And that's what I love about Trindall.
Yeah. It's exactly what you said at the start. It's a very weird combination. I don't think there's any other team where the 6 dominates the 7. I can't think of another team where they may as well just chuck the 7 jersey on the back of Trindall. They may as well, because, I mean, look at all these stats. Even the kicking meters, nearly 6,000 to 2,000. Massive difference. Yep. And so, obviously, exactly what you said, Trindall's one putting his hand up going, I'm kicking, try assists, 15 to 6, forced dropouts, bro, 15 to 2. So, he's getting his hand more on the ball, pretty much. He's pretty much going, if I call for it, give it. Yet defensively, we know Harris-Tavita. He's a jammer. He loves to go. Bro, I got to be honest. I love it when I see him fly in. That hit that he put on Max King,
Nothing
bro.
Better.
Oh,
yes.
And they got in a bit of a scuffle. Bro,
he's got a highlight reel.
He's got a highlight reel, bro. And again, these stats show this, yet the Warriors are still winning. So whatever Harris-Tavita is doing, even though we know Trindall obviously overall is playing the 7 pretty much, I love the way that Harris-Tavita, he's in form and he knows the right times where he needs to put himself in a position to lead the team. Other than that, he's literally bending on one knee going, I'll just support whatever the 7 needs from me. Which, in the team aspect, that's the reason why the Warriors are doing so well, is because he's done that. Those 2 games with Luke Metcalf coming in and kind of wanting to take over the helm and putting Tanner in, I don't know where I stand, is probably a big reason why we lost those 2 games. And that's why I've got to give ups to Harris-Tavita, is he bowed himself to the 7, and I believe it's just a good balance for the Warriors team. But very interesting.
Without knowing the inside scoop of Webby's plans for this game, we need to be sending all traffic to Trindall. Yeah. Just batter him for the first 30 minutes. Yeah. Smoke him for the first 30 minutes, so it's off his game in attack. Yeah. Let's move to our next matchup. Wow. And what a good one.
Dal versus Stonestreet. Let's dive straight into these stats, bro. Again, Stonestreet, I know he's a decent player. I haven't watched too many of his games, but he does his job. I wouldn't say he's a gun under the high ball or knows how to, do a DWZ in the corner. But, Sharks aren't doing too bad, and it's the result of their wingers. So just going through a couple of key stats here again. Both played 12 games this year. Tries. Let's go straight into the tries. Dell 11, Stonestreet 4. Warriors are utilising Dell. Warriors are playing well too. So if we look back at that our breakout year, Dell was scoring 2 to 3 tries per game. He's literally having the exact same year this year, which is good for the Warriors. Try assist, that goes to Stonestreet. Line breaks, Dell also tops him, 10 to 6. Very important. When your boys are tired, getting back to the line and you have one of your wingers break the line, there's no other better feeling for a prop than having your winger break the line. Post-contact meters, surprisingly, Stonestreet has a Dell. Dell loves a good offload. We all know Dell loves a good offload. He takes over Stonestreet there, 13-4, and missed tackles. This is the one that I really, really want to talk about here, T. Missed tackles. So if we look at Dell last year, we talked about in our other podcasts, he was second-guessing himself. And he was finding himself in certain situations where he'd miss tackles or was a little bit unsure on what he should do. Yet, look at these stats right here, T. 7, 18 for wingers. So Dell's obviously gone, I don't know what's happened behind closed doors, whether they brought in a defensive coach, whatever it is, bro, he has definitely improved his reading game, sliding defense, tackling, because look at those numbers right there, bro. 7 to 18. So Dallin is on fire. He's making his tackles, doing his job. He's just doing his job, and that's all the Warriors team needs.
I probably highly disagree with you on that point.
Okay.
Last year when they had that right edge leaking a few tries, I actually blamed the inside men. So the structure's designed that if the half shoots, the center's got to shoot, and then the wing has to follow.
Okay,
that's the structure of the play, and so I found last year in Dallin's defense, I found last year that the half, which was Tanner, and the center were always shooting, which he just had to follow. There were a couple of defensive reads, but I felt the majority of those tries were actually the inside making the wrong call, which forced every other player on the outside to have to come in.
Interesting. I got a question. Okay.
I think that's what's fixed.
Yeah.
The inside is fixed, meaning Dell doesn't have to make those tough calls.
Gotcha.
Do I stay out? Do I come in?
Yeah.
That's what's getting fixed. They're shutting down good on the inside.
So you're saying the difference this year is the inside second row, half, center, then obviously going out to Dell, where he kind of followed. We've fixed that.
Interesting. We've fixed that.
Interesting.
And that's what stops the tries out wide on the right-hand side. And I think up until a couple of weeks ago, there had only been one try scored against Dell's right edge, which is interesting. I saw a stat on another podcast. Just really quickly before I move on to the next one, I found an interesting stat for DWZ.
Okay.
He's sitting as the highest tries per game of any Warrior ever. He's sitting, any Warrior that's played over 15 games. And he's sitting at 0.73 tries per game.
Wow.
Next highest was Manu Vatuvai, who was 0.67 tries per game. Glenn Fishiai, 0.60. Conrad Harrell and David Fusitua round out the top 5.
Dang.
So as a Warriors fan, Dell's sitting highest tries per game for any Warrior in history.
And I'm very interested, just naturally, like with him playing this good of a year, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of NRL teams out there that are going to want his services if the Warriors are going to let him go. Or are the Warriors going to throw another couple of years at him with the rate that he's going? We know Will Warbrick's coming over, but to be honest, I think Dell's way more informed than Will Warbrick from what I've seen so far. So
he's playing an informed team. He's playing way better than Warbrick.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Hey, let's move on to our next point. We're going to dissect, just briefly, the Sharks versus Dragons game. Played last night where the Dragons put up a valiant start before the Sharks class just tore them to shreds towards the end. And highlighting, watching the game last night, I saw the class of Ronaldo Mulitalo.
Energy, he's energy, man.
Oh, man, energy to start the game. just flipping awesome. But the might of their forward pack was just too good.
Yeah.
You know, if we had a good battle against the Panthers, I feel the Sharks pack is top 3.
Yep.
Sitting there with Panthers, us, and them
Yep.
as the best forward packs in the comp. You know, all of their forwards are sitting over 110 kgs.
I know.
Their bench comes on, and they're all 120, 30 kg
man.
flipping boppers.
I know.
It's yeah.
It seems as if they've gone, let's go. Trindall's probably on not that much money. Hines is the big money maker. Like, he will be on. They would have to pay him a little bit to come over from Melbourne. But I feel when I look at the Sharks team, I've gone. Craig Fitzgibbon's gone. We're going to go heavy in our forward pack, and we can have somewhat average players in terms of our back line. But it's weird because even their back line is. I just feel like, I mean, their fullback's not a top class fullback. He just does his job. Brayley's top class. Nico's all over the place, and Trindall is the one leading the team. So it's kind of like they're going, if we can put a lot of our money into the forward pack, but even their bench, exactly what you said, Toby Rudolph comes off the bench, flipping Talakai. I'm like, bro, they're standout starters in other teams. And so they've just gone, if we can just bash down the front door of teams, we can have, like, not the best, spine players, and we'll just cross because we just bash you know what I mean?
Well, you look at their pack, and Brandon Hamlin-Uele can't even get a game. He's former Kiwis prop.
That's crazy.
He can't even get on the pack, on the park.
I was trying to figure out, how the heck do they have enough money to get Addin Fonua-Blake? As soon as I knew the Sharks got Fonua-Blake, I was legitimately over here going, holy crap. I've never seen a forward pack. Yet they're in and out of form this year, so it doesn't really matter, I guess.
Yeah. Sharks, as they were always going to, destroyed St. George in the end.
Yeah.
So it sets up a very interesting game against the Wars. In fact, the Wars, the next 3 games are flipping tough.
Yep.
Sharks, Cowboys, Dolphins, all top 8 teams, decent forward packs, good halves. We play all those 3 teams before we have the bye. If we beat these 3 teams plus the bye,
where do we sit?
We've essentially guaranteed our top 8.
Wow. Because how much is it for top 8? Is it 32 points to guarantee? Or is that top 4?
It might be between 28 and 32.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then top 4 is...
And we're sitting on 22 right now, 24, 26, 28. With the bye, we hit 30.
Dang. And, we're
that's
sitting good.
That's guaranteed us
we're
top 8.
Good, bro.
And, so big games coming up.
Yeah.
Hey, let's move to our next point. We're going to be discussing injury update. Sam Healey. I just saw something online that said that he's gone for 4 weeks.
Far out. Okay.
So it raises what happens next. What do you think? What do you think the Wars are going to do? Chuck a comment in on who you think's going to cover that hooker position. We spoke about earlier Aaron Clark potentially going there. We've got CHT who's gone to hooker. And I think Tim Maida's also played hooker.
Yep.
Played a bit of hooker in the past for the Broncos and then for us.
We've got Hansen that can cover.
Hansen? Yeah, I don't know if he can cover hooker. Has he covered a bit of hooker in
I
Cup?
I was meaning if you were to chuck Harris-Tavita in there, you would chuck Hansen as 6 to cover.
Right,
yeah.
And then we've obviously got the number 9 that's been the 9 for the whole year, Makai Tafua. A former Linwood, South Island boy. Linwood Kia junior boy coming through. Will he get his debut?
Yeah, well,
I'd love to see him get a debut. There's been a lot of talk on him. Good nuggery player, traditional hooker.
Yep.
Good service from dummy half.
I like him, bro. I like him. I watched a couple of his highlights before we jumped onto this podcast, and if I was to liken him to another player, I think he reminds me more of a Sam Healey. He's a running hooker. He scored a lot of tries coming out of hooker. So this is actually very, Warrior fans out there, you think, an injury, but I don't think many people understand the role of what Sam Healey has done this year to elevate our team to the next level. And just quickly, we know what Wade Egan can do, right? Wade Egan just does his job, draws the marker D, knows how to pull that, cuts out 2 players type pass, dives straight in, has somewhat of a running game. I wouldn't say that's a strength, but class. And then he's been staying on for what? Would you say around 55, 60 minutes? Boom.
Yeah, he's been hitting 60, 65, yeah.
Boom. Healey's been coming on as a 14, and it's changed the whole dynamic of the team. All of a sudden, you've got this hooker that runs it twice a set. And so you've got the defense for 60 minutes going, man, okay, Egan plays like this. He goes off, switches with Sam Healey, and now all of a sudden, tired forwards at the 60-minute marker going, oh, flipping great. Now we've got Sam Healey running in between, in the back of the...
this runner.
Oh, no. And exactly what even put in perspective, you as a prop, come 60 minutes and you got a darty little hooker.
Oh, nothing worse. Nothing worse. And in fact, I'll talk about that in my Bay of Plenty section at the end.
Yes.
Darting hookers. They are the worst to play against. They're nuggety. They're small. They duck under tackles.
Yeah.
And
they love it, bro. They eat it. They eat that for breakfast, bro. I know hookers. They just go. We've got a couple of hookers in our own family. Shout out to Matt Watene, was it Junior Kiwis?
Junior Kiwis, yeah.
Played a couple of games with him, and boy, I could only imagine what he was like in his prime. Because I played with him when he was like 35, and I was like, whoa, this dude knows what he's up to. Running hooker, pro. He's taking it all day. Addin's another one. Shout out to the cuzzy Addin.
Hey, don't forget you've played some of your best footy as a hooker as well.
Hey, that's
and you're a tackling hooker, and you're probably the biggest hooker in the comp.
Nothing.
That's
a fun. I got to share something. That's the most funniest thing. I played. I think it was a couple of years ago, 4 years. Cobb, we're doing college old boys. I'm playing college old boys, and we're doing pretty well. And I was a starting hooker for the reserves, and it was so funny because I'm 6'2". Name another hooker out there, even in the NRL, that's 6'2". And it's just so funny because obviously as hooker, someone plays the ball. And I can look over the person's head, like, it was just so funny, man. And so I wasn't so much a running hooker. I thought running was probably my worst thing. Service-wise, I was able to give good service, and I think my other strength would have been to pass it the right way or to the right person at the right time. So if I identified the defensive side getting tired, I'm giving it to our biggest flipping bullocking runner that I know is going to go through. If we're at our try line and I hear my half calling red, which is an overcall because he sees something, I was a hooker that was able to identify that. But overall, just...
I can talk to that. I would call red all the time as a prop playing alongside my brother. And... what I loved when he was hooker, anytime I wanted the ball, I got it.
Yes, actually, that's a good point.
Anytime I wanted the ball, I got it, and I flipping loved it.
Hey, let's just cover, since we're in this topic, let's cover a little bit of our little, I play hooker, you played prop. There was a couple of seasons we played reserves. Without boasting, our talents in rugby league and reserve grade Waikato rugby league, we've got a couple of tricks up our sleeve. Would you say, bro? We've got a couple of tricks up our sleeve, and I'm not trying to give my brother a bit of a big head, but he's probably the best offloader I know of, and so we've developed a skill that if I'm in hooker and I give him the ball, which whenever he calls for it, he gets, and he runs straight in between the A and B defense markers. Right behind the markers, you got that pocket where no one is because the markers are supposed to split and cover that area. Because Tauer's 6'2", weighs 120 kgs, he knows how to draw people in. And so what our little play or strategic way of breaking the line is he would run in between A and B, and me at hooker, they wouldn't expect me to be there running, right, T? And so you would poke your nose in, it was good, and I'm not kidding you, I would just, all I needed to do is stand right next to the A player, and I knew an offload was coming to me. And because, again, I'm not the best running hooker half, when you're not the best, I mean, you don't really see or know what it feels like to break the line. well, after we developed this, that whole season, I would have broken the line like 10 times. And the first time he did it, he just said, bro, just run on my hip, just run. I will give you that play. And I kid you not, my first time I broke the line, he was tackled. He had about 4 players. He was on his way to the ground. And I kid you not, I just see this hand come out of nowhere. And it just sits in my hand. I remember looking around. It was like I stopped and I was looking around like this. And I go, what do I do right now? I've never felt what it feels like to break the line. And all I heard you say was this, T. Run. Just run. Crack up.
No, we had some good synergy. Obviously, we grew up playing backyard footy with the cousins, constantly. But all I knew when you were hooker, you were coming on my inside or out.
Yep.
And all I had to do was get a little look or hear you say, yep. And I was getting you that ball. And we had some flipping good fun all the way to the Reserves Premiership, I think, that year.
Yeah. Ravens took it out that year. And no, very, very awesome.
Hey, enough about ourselves. We're going to move on to our next point. And we're going to be talking about where James Fisher-Harris sits as the greatest prop in Warriors history. Ooh. And we've got a little...
this is a random point, AT. This is a random point that you wanted. Yeah.
I wanted to discuss this. I've got up 4 other props that I felt were probably the top 4 props that ever came to the Warriors. Joe Wagner, Richard Villasanti, the Tongan juggernaut, Ruben Wiki, Steve Price, and James Fisher-Harris.
Wow.
Where does Fish sit? Now, some of these guys, you won't remember them. I don't know if you remember Joe Wagner.
I remember.
I was a young kid back then. Yeah, you remember them?
Is Wagner the one with the dreads? He had the dreads? No, that was...
No.
Who's that? That was another Wagner. No?
No.
Okay.
You meaning...
Hey.
Are you meaning Nigel?
Nigel,
with the dreads on his chin?
Yeah. He was a mean player too.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Joe didn't. Yep. But all good props. Steve Price came over from a premiership winning Bulldogs team to lead our pack. Ruben Wiki as well came over from Canberra Raiders to lead our pack. All top props. Richard Villasanti took us all the way to the grand final in 2002. From your memory, where does Fish sit in this list?
Yeah, so I remember Steve Price. I remember taking a photo with him. That was pretty cool. Obviously, Ruben Wiki. I remember Villasanti. I don't really know Joe Wagner, so I can't really put him in there. Where does Fisher-Harris sit? I feel like just naturally, if I was to give one good point about every single one of these players, Villasanti was the crazy nutter, eh? He was a bit of a crazy nutter. Yep. Ruben Wiki was also a bit of a crazy nutter. I remember him smoking. He ran off the back fence and smoked that other Islander from the Rabbitohs, and he would just run and bomb. Steve Price, big bopper, kind of just did his job. I wouldn't say he was like a crazy type nutter. I would say Fisher-Harris kind of reminds me more of a Steve Price type player. I wouldn't say he's like grunty, can run over people, but he does his job. He does the small things right. So I would naturally put Fisher-Harris, I think I would put him as, this is a tough one.
If Fish finishes out his contract to 29 or 29, he'll be 30, 31, 32. He'll have another 2 years in him. If he can play till he's 33 and keep this form, which I think he can.
Yes.
Especially when you see the likes of Jared White-Hargreaves going on to 35.
Yeah, he's going to be one of those players.
I think he's going to be.
Yep.
He's pretty close to our best ever prop at the moment.
Wow.
Taking into account these 5. Steve Price was very similar to the way Fonua-Blake would jink at the line.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so Price had footwork, and he had a lot of post-contact meters. That was his big thing. Every year, the highest post-contact in the comp.
Yep.
Steve Price for quite a few years.
Interesting. So you're putting him at the top out of all these people
right now. What's Fish been 2 years? Right now, I think he's already the best prop. If he can take us to a grand final, if he can take us to and win a grand final, greatest ever prop to come to the
Yeah.
Warriors, in my opinion.
Okay, so that's two different topics we're talking about. You're basing him off the way the Warriors are doing right now. In terms of natural ability, are you putting him at the top? So exactly how we compared Fonua-Blake, natural ability, Fonua-Blake wastes him. But in terms of team presence and everything else, you're telling me Fisher Harris is better than Ruben Wiki and C. Price?
Yeah. Fisher's, I'd say yes. Yep.
Well,
Yep. I'll place them above.
I think I need to see a little bit
Over
more
four.
from Fish. Naturally, for me, I think I would need to see more from Fish. Maybe exactly what you said. We get him to, a couple more years, and the results show. And he's obviously doing things behind doors that he's just lifting the team. In terms of natural ability, I think I would put Ruben Wiki up there, and I would put Fisher Harris either second or third. It would be a tough three-way battle between Ruben Wiki, Steve Price, and Fish. Villasanti coming in fourth, and I'm not sure about Joe Wagner.
Nice.
Very good question. Moving over to my point that I want to make. We have a few key boys. So again, I had no clue about the question before that Tiao brought up.
I didn't know Laban extended. Interesting. Carry on.
Yes. This is just a photo, but I don't know the topic that Tiao was going to point. This is kind of just a random topic that we bring up and we just go with it. My question for Tiao is, we have a few key boys that I know are building the Warriors team into what they are. Let's just name a few. Leka, Laban, Dimitrik, Tanner, and
Tuiava.
Yep, Toyava. Let's just name those. They're all either playing edge, prop. Out of those young boys, who are you basing the next 5 years around? If you had to pick one player to base the Warriors team around that one player, who are you picking out of those young boys?
Obviously Fish is going to be here probably for those 5 years. So take out Fish.
Take Fish out.
Who out of the five? The form of Stowers Smith at the moment,
Bro.
if he can keep that trajectory going, he could be the Fisher Harris of our team for the next 10 years.
Yep.
And I'd love to see that. Future captain of the team, I could see Jacob Laban.
Yep.
I like what he brings.
Yep.
Very similar mold to Kurt Capewell.
Yep.
Just gets his
does his
things
job.
done.
Yep.
Just does his job. And I'm liking what I'm seeing from him at the moment. X Factor's Halasima.
Yep.
No doubt.
Yep.
But to build a pack around, it's Dimitrik or Tanner Stowers. That'd be my two.
Ooh, good point.
I can't choose out of the two. Both playing good.
Yep.
I'd like to see Dimitrik not playing 13 but playing prop. I think last week he was just passing the ball, and that's not a strong suit. It's running and offloading. He's our only good offloader.
Yeah.
And so I want to see him playing prop, not 13, in my opinion.
Well, especially that we got Aaron Clark that can do that. He can run and pass and, find his points. And I think you make a really good point with Dimitrik is his strength is running off the back fence, bro. I want him to put fear into teams. Anyways, going back to mine, it's a tough one because obviously it depends on how we move forward. I mean, Leka could fall out of form. Jacob could be the next. I like what you said about Jacob Laban. When he first came into the scene, I didn't rate him at all. I was like, he does nothing, gets stopped at the line. But him plus all these other boys, I remember Dimitrik's first game, bro. And did he get sin-binned? He got into a bit of a scuffle or so. I remember a game, and I was even thinking with Dimitrik, he's average, he's nothing special. He didn't come off. But these boys, it's like every game, they're adding something to their game. Last week, Laban scored that try and jumped over someone. He just got up there. Leka, X Factor, building your team around. I would probably go Dimitrik and Jacob Laban. I would probably go those two. I think Laban is potentially our future captain. The last question I have for you, why did you not choose Leka? The crowd. the crowd
yeah.
loves
Well, Lecker just strikes me. How old is Lecker? He just strikes me as this little kid who you just want to play league. Yeah. Don't burden him with anything. Yeah. Let him play the damn game.
Yes.
And just create X factor every time he touches the ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I see in Halasima.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't choose him. Nothing to do with talent. I just see him as this little kid. Probably goes to training with a lollipop in his mouth, and is just naturally gifted at flipping everything.
And we're not saying that in a hateful way. Legitimately, it's as if, because he's just, like, that try against the Knights was crazy. But you are right. Every time I look at him, it's as if he just got out of his high school class and jumped on an NRL field and just give me the ball and I'll just do whatever comes to my brain. That is so funny. Yeah. It's like he walks.
And you see it often in the NRL. Actually, your best player is not necessarily a captain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because sometimes giving them that opportunity as captain or that responsibility, it then puts stress on them to just being free flow, footy, which we know he's good at.
Hey, let's move now. We'll talk local footy rugby league. We like to cover a bit of local.
We love it
every single time. And we're going to be talking, because rounds are on this past weekend, Waikato Rugby League first, and then we'll move into Bay of Plenty Rugby League. Take us away, your boy Tanks.
Okay, so starting off, we have the Panthers versus Tigers. I'm going to dive straight into the recording. The recording is awesome. This is in the later... this is in the later end of the second half. The game was up. Tigers had it. It was a score, one each. Tigers scored.
Is this Premier Grade?
Premier Grade. Tigers versus Panthers. Tigers scored, Panthers scored. Tigers scored, Panthers scored. Tigers scored, so they were up. And Panthers had this run. This is the run I want to talk about. And a few names I'm going to point out. Kalen, Cam Addin, and a Levi Smith, bro. He came on, played a second game, bro. He played reserve grade, fullback the whole game, comes on, bro. And you will see his electric run, bro, and his mean try. Then topping it off, Cam, to jump 2 points in front, Cam gets the field goal. So let's dive straight.
The old playing 2 games on the one day. Good on you, Levi.
Okay, here we go.
Big bopper right there.
Now comes back out to Suti over the 40-metre line on the 5th and final.
Who's that 9? Is it Cameron there?
It's Cam, 9. Bro, check Kalen's run.
Is that
bro.
League Park?
Yes.
That's
Look at this, bro.
Park.
Look at this.
Who's this?
Kalen, bro. What a run. Finn, bro. And what's this?
Holding that ball.
Look at this. Bro, got a penalty, bro. Made that run penalty, and watch this next passage of play, bro.
Cam slowing down the pack. Slow it down, boys. There's the old veteran, Matty Wade, I'm guessing, number 6.
Yep, that's Matty Wade.
I'm pretty sure last time I spoke to him, he said he's retired. It's good to see him back out on that field.
Bro,
Matty, you got another 10 years easy in you, mate.
Bro, and he's the best kicker in the Waikato Rugby League, bro. He kicks that ball so far. Dallas Couture with the ball. Show and go, Camera. Errington. Now watch this, bro. Here it is. Look at this, bro. Boom.
Is that Levi?
Yes, bro. Just played a full game of reserves, bro. Comes on and distance. So he was number 17, bro. Full of energy, bro. And he just ran through the middle of that pack, bro. That was speed, bro. That was speed.
Just speed.
And to top it off, Cam Addin. Let's fast forward a little bit.
Is it a draw right now?
It's a draw right now. And we're talking probably 10 minutes left on the clock. And it's a hard position there, bro. Does Cam slot it? Easy money. Easy money. And, bro, I don't know if you can hear the crowd, bro. Cam right there, running back. I know Cam is one of my good mates. He was stoked. He was stoked. And I'm proud, bro. I'm proud to see him kick that goal. And, yeah, bro, Panthers went up. They ended up snatching that win from the Tigers. Was an amazing game. I must mention, bro, Panthers prop, number 8, Jerome Flood. How much would you say, just off the bat, he weighs right from the last time you saw him?
Jerome?
Yeah.
Maybe sitting at 110 playing weight.
Bro, I swear he's sitting at like 125, 30, bro. He is huge. And every run that he made, bro, I'm not kidding you, bro, always quick play the ball. He just slots through, bro. He's already a good player as it is. So going back to our draw, coming into our draw, Tani Whare versus Turinga Waiwai. Turinga Waiwai went down. That was top of the table clash. Panthers got the win. They're creeping up behind in third place. Hamilton City Tigers. Te Piringa got their first win, bro, over Hamilton Hornets.
So you got the ladder up at the moment, eh?
Yep, ladder's right here. Yep. Tani Whare still undefeated in the reserves. Hamilton City Tigers not too far behind. Turinga Waiwai, Panthers, Te Piringa, and Hornets. Hand time over to you, T.
Nice. Let's talk about Plenty Rugby League. And we're going to go first to look at the game of the round, which was Central Pride Rotorua versus the Arataki Bears in the reserve grade, with the Pride coming out on top, 32-26. We're looking at some very close competition in the reserve grade, and well done to the Pride for taking that out. We'll move next to our Premier grade, and we'll just have a look at the ladder. And as we see there, Arataki still on top, haven't lost the game this season.
Wow.
They're the form team with Pacific Sharks sitting in second and Mangakino Hawks in third. Tauranga Whalers fourth, Pikiao, Te Pāmu and the Papamoa Bulldogs. Now what I wanted to highlight was a quick one from a quick snippet. I did try to find any lives from the other games and I couldn't find one live. So I wasn't able to bring you any highlights from any of those. But I got one highlight of, we spoke earlier about little nippy hookers.
Yep.
And our stand-in half for this week from the Mangakino versus Whalers game. Very important game because it was a fight for third place with both teams on 8 points going into this game versus the Whalers. And if you want to play that clip here, this is midway through the first half, highlighting one of our guns, Zaya Senior.
Yep.
One of his line breaks before Bay of Plenty representative hooker Alan Rika goes through and scores. So the pass there, Zaya Senior gets the ball. He's normally a fullback, standing in at halfback and just throwing people off at will. Yeah, just played a solid game directing the team around on Saturday.
Good run, but number 3.
Another Bay of Plenty representative, JP.
12-8 to Whalers.
There it is.
And then our hooker.
Oh,
The
Nice,
one
Dallin.
thing I hate more than anything is when your hookers go through and do that. So good try by the Bay of Plenty rep hooker, Alan Rika.
bro, he's a gun. He's
with-
a gun.
Yeah, with our team, Mangakino Hawks going up 34-16 to solidify third place for now. Whalers had some standout players in their team, which I wanted to touch on. Their number 9, Anuru Bidwa, will be definitely in the discussions with Alan Rika for that number 9 position for Bay. Along with a young buck, 18-year-old Chrysler Yates, who I thought played well and smashed me in one tackle, absolutely flipping, chopped me in half. Hey, Bay Plenty Rugby League is in good hands at the moment with a good comp going and looking forward to the results by the end of the year.
Yeah.
I've got nothing further to say. That's the end of our potty today. Your boy Tanks, thanks for comments today. Once again, guys, subscribe, like, comment, turn on notifications if you enjoy our content, and thanks for joining us on Raised by the Same Ref.
Let's go.